Hey there! Today I wanted to go through a really short little project to make a timer in Ruby. The other day I was reading about the Pomodoro technique, which involves the use of a timer for 25 minutes. And as I was searching around my apartment, I couldn't find anything that would do, didn't want to use my phone, and finally realized that I could throw something together really quickly in Ruby. And basically, if you think about a timer, all the timer does is count down a certain amount of time, and then alert the user once the time is up. So for the counting down, we can just do a sleep, and once that's complete, we can alert the user by using the espeak command
Bing.
to alert the user with this super creepy robotic voice. And the fix them that we're passing in here is a second count, so for dealing with minutes, we can simply multiply by 60 seconds to get to the minute count. And this works, but as we run it, we'll see that there's no output for how much time we have left. And for me, this was sufficient because I wanted to be focusing on working and not looking at the clock. But in thinking about this, I thought it would be an interesting little project to throw together a Ruby countdown timer. So that's what we're going to do today. So first, let's make a timer RB file, and we're going to need to figure out how long we're counting down. And let's pick a point in time that is 5 seconds from now, and we'll call this E for end. This is a time object, but if we add a fixnum to it, it will return a time value that is 5 seconds after that in this case. Next up, we will want to do the countdown bit in here, but as we're going to want to output a time after every second, let's put this in a while loop, and we're going to figure out how long to run this by checking if the present time is still less than or equal to the end time. And then at the bottom, we will want to again have our output. So if we run this now, let's make this a little shorter, let's make it 3 seconds. If we run this, it should just count down 3 seconds and bing.
Bing.
Success. So now to get our timer in here, and that's going to go in here after the sleep. To output the time, we're going to have to figure out what the difference is between now and the end. So let's make a t variable and do the difference between end, which will be bigger, and time.now, and then output that and see what we get.
Bing.
So this is kind of what we want in that it's getting back the time, but as we can see, it's a float in seconds, which isn't very user-friendly. So instead, we're going to want to print this as this kind of a output with minute, colon, and then second. And to show this better, so that we have a bigger value to work with, let's use our 25-minute timer. So the easiest way I think to deal with this is to do a print formatted string, and you can use this special syntax that is %d to input to place a digit in here, and we're going to want these to be 2 digits long, and we want them to be padded with zeros in the case that they aren't 2 digits long. So in the case that this is before the colon here, if it is just 1 minute, it will put 0 1 minutes, and then after, if it's you know, 8 seconds, it'll put 0.8 seconds instead of space 8 seconds. And then we simply pass in the two values for the two digits that we've registered, and we're going to want to put our minutes and seconds in there. And so we're going to also need to come up with these. And the simplest way to do that is probably to take time and divide it by 60, which will give us the minutes, and then the modulus 60 of that same time to get the seconds. So if we close out of this and rerun our timer, we're getting our countdown, but as we can see, we're kind of printing it sequentially, which is not what we want. So to get rid of this, before we do the printf, which as you'll note is a print, not a puts, it doesn't drop a new line in there, we can print a backspace character to back over previous output. And since we're going to have two digits, 1 semicolon, and 2 digits, that's 5. So we're going to print that 5 times, and let's see what that gives us. There's our countdown. So with that done, let's check and make sure that our ding still works the way we want it to.
Ding.
And it does, except that it leaves this strange 59 behind, which is it's counting down below where it should here. I think it's getting a negative number. So let's only print this if the time is greater than 0.
Ding.
And there we have it. So some adjustments that we can make here. This is going to be minutes times 60, let's say, and let's accept a variable or default to 25. So now if we call Ruby timer and we pass, say, 5 minutes, it does not like that string to, oh, okay. I forgot, I need to make this an integer. It's treating it as a string and trying to multiply it otherwise, which it doesn't like adding to time then. And if we do this, we've got a 5-minute counter. If we do this, we have an error. So what's going on here? 2i. It's probably, oh, it's doing, this is a bit of a gotcha. I bet I know what it's doing here. We're calling this 2i here. So if we don't pass a value in, it's nil. And what is nil to I? It's 0. And so we're trying to do this and get our 25. And since since 0 is truthy, it always passes and gives us a 0, which results in sleep 0, which results in an immediate ding. So that's clearly not what we want. So let's see. I feel like there's a cleaner way to do this, but let's say we can just do another one in here and say if m is 0, then 25, that's our default, else m. I feel like there's got to be a way cleaner way to do this, but I think this will work. Sure enough. Let's check that other case again. And it works. Cool. So that does it there. When I went through this the first time, I didn't particularly like this less than equal to here. That just seemed kind of sloppy to me. And it isn't necessarily, but I just kind of wanted it to be, because if you flip things around, this less than equal to is equivalent to greater than, but then you have to negate the logic that you're using. So this is equivalent, this while is equivalent to doing an until, and then E greater than, I believe.
Bing.
Nope. Got it wrong. Less than. There it is. Okay, yeah, I flipped it. I flipped it too many times in my mind, lost track there. Yeah, so we're kind of, because we're flipping it with the while to the until, we're making it possible to get rid of the something or equal to, and we're able to do just less than. I don't know that this necessarily reads better until E is less than time equals now. I think I like while it's less than, which actually I guess what I think I was thinking of is that I could do this.
Bing.
Nope. Well, that works. So good enough. Yeah, so that does it. This isn't a particularly clean solution. It's all procedural and it's all kind of thrown together, but it gets the job done. And I thought the particularly interesting pieces here were kind of printing the backspace characters and doing the formatted strings to get the countdown output to work. So, yeah, I guess that's it. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, please comment below or tweet at me at ForkBabam, and I will see you again soon. Psych, me again. So I was editing the video and watching how I solved this nil argument problem, and realized that a better solution would be to skip this whole mess entirely. And I was trying to do this, but it was the 0 here was always passing and we were never getting to the or 25. And I realized that the easiest way to get rid of this problem would be to get rid of the 2i and to call it down here on m instead. And that resolves the problem. So yeah, I knew there was a cleaner solution, but couldn't think of it in the moment, and this was it. So alright, that's really it now. See you later.